Hello, everybody. I'm Ricky Smith. Welcome to Faith on Friday Presents. At Faith on Friday Presents, we're all about highlighting, inspiring people, engaging topics, and small businesses. And while you're here, don't forget, like, subscribe, and share this YouTube channel, as well as like our Facebook page and follow us on Instagram. You don't want to miss a thing. All right, people. I guess I should put a trigger warning out here because today we're going to talk about something you thought you'd never deal with again after high school. There we sat in Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and in some cases, statistics, rethinking our life choices, wondering what is an integer and when would I ever need this? Then there were the fractions, the long division, oh, the pain of it all. And all you could think of was getting out of that class. Well, today I'm going to introduce you to somebody who not only loves math, but teaches it to other people and not as a torture. Y'all, please say hello to Deidre Simpson. Hi, Deidre. How are you?
Fine. How are you, Ricky?
I'm doing well. Deidre, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it because this is going to be fun for me.
Excellent.
So, Deidre, before we get started, tell me a little bit about yourself and where you're located.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mentor and coach teenagers who still have trouble with their math despite tutoring. And sometimes that includes people with disabilities or other types of issues that interfere. And I do all this from the lovely state of Utah.
Utah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, everybody's got to live somewhere, right?
It's true. I've lived in a few states.
Okay, but Utah, that I think that's a first for me. So, yay, Utah.
Yeah.
So, Deidre, you heard in the introduction, people hate math. We don't get it. We thought once we left high school, we'd never have to see it again. And then here you are. And I love what you said. You teach teenagers who struggle with their math. Did somebody, did you lose a bet? Why are you teaching math?
A bet. That's a good one. No, actually, I started out years and years ago as a tutor for public school students who were underserved. And so I found out through working with them that they had a little bit of trouble and I needed more time to get them where they needed to be because they were working with me alongside a grade level course.
Oh, wow.
That they were struggling with because of this issue with their skills. So I decided I wanted to help them out because I kept seeing this. It was like I was a magnet or something, as opposed to, just typical types of help.
Right.
And I could relate because I am a third generation female who had trouble with math at the age of 8, and my mother couldn't help me. My mom basically had the same kind of problem, and her mother couldn't help her.
Yeah.
And then I became a mom and I had a daughter and I couldn't help her even though I knew the math. Yeah.
Wow. It's so funny you saying that because I think back, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners and those watching can relate as well. We probably can't help our kids with their math.
Yeah.
I mean, my parents, my mom was a nurse, my dad was a police officer in the Air Force. My mom could help me with some math, but as we got into it more and more, they weren't able to help us either. Why do you think that is? Is it the skills or, I mean, does math really change?
Well, sometimes the approach to the math changes, but it's the same kind of math.
Oh,
Let's
that's
just
good.
say the first time I heard the term new math, I was 9. So I still hear that from time to time and I'm thinking, wow, really? New math? But it's pretty much the same. Some parents just forget because not everyone is a genius. I would say, most people aren't.
Right.
And so they get involved in real life as adults and they have so many other responsibilities as opposed to, that standout math class that they need to work out.
Yeah.
And so when they don't anticipate having this issue again, if it was an issue for them in the past, until it happens, it's just like, I'm not a parent. I don't know the math. It's a lot of parents don't know the math. They've forgotten the
Right.
math. Yeah, it's different. They don't realize
Mm-hmm.
not to beat themselves up.
Yeah, I love that. Don't beat yourselves up. It's hard enough being somebody's parent already to add
Right,
on top of that, you not knowing the math, remembering the math, and then
right.
more guilt piled on. Give yourself a break. They ate
True,
today. You're welcome.
true.
So so, Deidre, when you started doing math, I like what you said, the method of the math has changed because I
Mhm.
heard the term and still do new math. And I keep
Yeah.
thinking, did 2 + 2 change or something? Why is it new? What does new math mean?
Well, it's kind of like, even though it hasn't got really anything to do with math, like Alzheimer's and senility.
Oh my, that's
They're the
good.
same.
Hmm. That's
But
good.
I mean,
Yeah.
bipolar disorder used to be called manic depressive. Uh, they just
Mhm.
have the same things. They change the names generationally,
So it's marketing, is what you're saying.
more or less.
Wow, that's so crazy. So you said you deal with mainly high school students, is that right?
Mainly, yeah.
Okay, so they're
Hmm.
already in school, they're already
Right.
in math classes,
Hmm.
and some of the math classes are pretty basic, but then
Yeah.
you do have the algebra ones and twos, you have your statistics, you have some physics people in
Yeah.
high school. What are you
Hmm.
helping them with? All of those areas or something specific?
Something specific that's keeping them from making progress in whatever course they're taking.
Mm-hmm.
They get stuck somewhere. Like some people just cannot deal with equations. The very thought of a variable throws them off, and suddenly they're on a merry-go-round in some amusement park that doesn't exist, and they want to get off.
I
And
love
you
that
don't
on a
want to do that. It's
merry-go-round.
like, what am I gonna do? So I just try to help them with that so they can get where they need to be.
Yeah.
And once they have all the skills they need, then I
Mm-hmm.
just, let go of the back of the bike that we've already taken the training wheels off of.
Yeah, and let
Move
them
on.
ride and ride and ride. So
Right.
in what the teachers are teaching now, because now I don't know if in Utah it's the same as it is in Texas. You know, we have standardized tests that our teachers teach toward.
Hmm.
You have very few teachers now that are able to teach things like the basics,
Right.
anymore because they have to teach for this test.
Mm.
What kind of things are your kids coming to you with? Are they struggling with the basics, or is it one simple theory that they can't get, or is it the teaching method that they're not understanding?
It's the basics. So like if someone is on, like, I don't know, their third week of Algebra 1, because we just started the fall semester, right?
Yeah,
If they're already having trouble, their problem is not Algebra 1. It's
that's
something
good.
before Algebra 1.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And tutoring takes care of the things that are, like that scenario you described where it's just kind of brief and they just don't get this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if they have trouble at the beginning or early on in the first couple of months, it isn't the Algebra 1. It's something
Oh
before
gosh.
that. And then you
Yeah.
got to find out what the something is, because maybe for some people the first assumption is, oh, it's pre-algebra.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe and maybe not.
Yeah, that's true. Like you said, between the integers, the fractions, and things, and the order of things. See what I did right there, y'all? You're welcome. That's all I remember. So, some of us, we've grown up and we'll remember some of it for the most part. But like you said, it's the basic. How basic are we talking? Are we talking basics, your addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, or are we talking different kind of basics?
Well, like if someone has to multiply, let's say, -5 by a +4, so -5 times 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They might know it's some kind of 20, and some people just think it's 20, and then some people don't even realize it's 20. And the person
Mm,
that doesn't realize it's 20 has trouble with multiplication.
that's so good.
Yeah.
Wow. See, when you said that, all I heard, I remember my teacher, thank you, Mrs. Austin, that I remember a positive and a negative equals a negative. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
Woo! Again, 2 points for me. See, Deidre, you don't understand. I was so nervous for this interview because I'm like, man, math, really? Which begs this question. When we were growing up and getting out of school, and we were
Yeah.
like, oh my God, if I could just get out of this class, I will never use math again. What
Mm.
do you say to us about that?
Oh, I'm so sorry you had that experience, and it must have been quite an experience because you still feel like that after all this time. I'm really sorry, but give yourself some credit. Look at you now. You're all right. You made it.
True. Oh
If
my
you've been
God.
counting your money successfully, you're doing fine.
Wow.
You're doing
Right?
fine. Yeah.
Yeah. But did we
Yeah.
need the Pythagorean theorem? Was I going to ever need that again?
Uh,
Exactly.
it depends. If you want to do anything STEM, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Fine.
But
See,
that's
now I'm
because of
just
the
showing off.
path. Yeah.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
is hilarious because, you and I had talked earlier, and one of the things we talked about was cooking,
Ah, yes.
and you have to learn to measure
Yes, you do. Yeah.
liquids and dry.
Yes, you do.
And you don't
Yeah.
realize that's math, y'all.
You
Dang
know,
it.
you see more fractions and recipes than you do anywhere else except the math class.
That's so true. And we
Yeah.
can't figure them out for nothing. For
But it's
nothing.
okay. The measuring cup is your friend.
The measure cup is your friend. I like that.
It is. It's got
It
all
re-
the markings.
yeah. But you know what? There are some folks who are watching this and thinking, ugh, I could never learn math again. Especially the parents who are looking to help their younger kids, their teenagers who are going through. What do you say
Oh,
to those parents?
oh. Well, it's not so bad, mom and dad. All you have to do is just help them through because teenagers are practically done anyway. So they're really
Wow.
close to the finish line.
Mm-hmm.
And so all you have to do is just help them get through that. Because the
Mm-hmm.
math that they're learning is for the job they're going to get to prove that they're qualified, to get the diploma, to get the college degree. So
Mm-hmm.
then they can make the money that they're just going to use multiplication and addition and subtraction to work with. Why?
Right.
To make sure they've got enough money for their expenses and something left over and how much they make in a year so they can qualify for financing. That's it
Wow. So
in a
see,
nutshell.
we didn't need all that crap. Anyway, I'm sorry. I know
Whoops.
I'm still having PTSD issues.
I'm so sorry. I need to make a patch.
I
Anyway.
know exactly because you think about math already is difficult. And you said something earlier when you were talking about your third generation female. Now,
Yeah.
you may have heard or read or seen that
Mhm.
women are not as good at math as our male counterparts. Do you find that to be true?
Um, Honestly, yes. Only in that it comes more naturally for males. It's because
Explain.
math is more of a logical kind of thing. What it
Mm,
is what it is, what is. And so men just sort of naturally think that way.
mm.
Women adapt though.
All right.
We do all right. Hidden Figures. Anyway.
Hidden Figures. I like it. If you haven't seen the movie, check it out. But that is so interesting because then, like you said, men and women are wired differently. Men
Mhm.
have a tendency to be extremely analytical. It's black and white. Like you said, it is what it is. And
Mhm.
we as women, we are very fluid. It may be this, but it could possibly be this. And if you turn your head like this, now it looks like that. So I could see that. Yeah, I could totally
Yeah.
see that. That's awesome. So now as you're doing the work that you do, are you still helping those that are underserved in underserved communities or underserved schools? Who is it that you're working with right now?
I work with those people as they come. I don't always know that's the issue or if that's
Mm-hmm.
the case. I work with people who have learning disabilities, diagnosed or not. And some
Mm-hmm.
people have medical issues that cause learning disabilities or a number of other things. A
Wow.
lot of people want to think that someone who's dyslexic is just dyslexic.
Mm,
Maybe they are, maybe they're not.
right.
They could
Wow,
have
that's
more
really
than one, and people don't think about that.
exactly. And they don't see that. That when you said that, it made me think of this also. How important is household environment to a child's ability to understand and grasp concepts in math?
Extremely. They're in a classroom that's controlled and basically quiet and
Mm-hmm.
conducive to learning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then at home, where everyone gets to be who they are, yeah, you have to have some protocols in place so that anyone doing homework isn't disturbed, the
Mm-hmm.
younger sibling that, just wants to knock your pencils off of the desk while you're trying to write,
Oh
creating
yeah.
distractions, or, the big screen TV that's really loud and they're down there in the dining room doing
Yeah,
their homework. It's kind of hard. This is why I think lots of places recommend, libraries. I
sure.
get it. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if you're going to do it at home, it has to be quiet
Yeah,
so they
that's
can
so good.
focus. That's
Mm-hmm.
how they learned what it is they're practicing. So you don't want to
Mm-hmm.
mess that up.
Yeah. What's your take on now? You have all these video game opportunities to learn math,
Mhm.
video applications, online apps. What's your take on those compared to that classroom learning?
Hmm. Well, I'm a fan of going with what works for the student.
Uh,
So if they like doing that type of thing, like for instance with
mm-hmm.
IXL.com, um, that's more automated. If that's what they want to do, if that works for them, that's fine. But don't be surprised if they have questions.
Right, right.
um, that can happen, but it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with IXL.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is unique, even twins, and
I like that,
they're
even
not
twins.
exactly the same. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they're
No matter
different.
what. That's
And
so
so you
good.
just work with whatever it takes to get them where they need to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you look at each person like they're the first person that you've ever done this with, it's
Right.
not hard. And
Wow,
for
that's
me,
so
it helps,
good.
that they're not my children, so I can be more objective.
That's true. And you can send them back. That's just me. Anyway.
send, them, send them back. They're
Yeah,
wonderful
send them back home. Go home. We love you. Lala, see you next week. So,
people.
Deidre, again, thinking back as a parent, and
Mhm,
I had four kids go through school, all of them kind of at the same time, that
mhm.
the level of patience, because like you said, you're doing it because they're not your children. The investment, if you will, in time is completely different than what we as in-home parents are dealing with. What tips would you have for parents trying to help their kids in math right now?
Well, let's see. Make sure they have all their materials so you have something to refer to while you're trying to help them.
So
Yeah.
good.
Because some people are like, Mom, I don't know where that math book is, or I don't know where this is or where that is. Like, really?
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's good.
also be patient and forgiving with yourself. You don't have to have the same qualifications as the teacher
Mm,
who works for, a district,
yeah,
and has to have a credential and a degree in the subject. You don't have to do all that. You're the
so
kid's
good.
first teacher anyway.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
because I deal
That
with
is so
most of
good. Yeah, I
them.
see if I had
Yeah.
known that then. Ugh.
Yeah.
But they all made
Oh,
it out of school alive and college, so I'm super excited by any of that.
oh.
Deidre, if somebody wanted to work with you or
Mhm.
find you or continue this traumatic conversation, where is the best place for them to find you?
On my website or my email.
What's your website?
Uh, let's see. Mathcalm.com.
Pretty simple. And what will we
Yeah.
find on your website?
Oh, what I do, how I do it, and pictures of smiling teenagers. Um,
Wow, smiling teenagers in math. Yeah, I'm just going to go
yeah.
out there just to see if that's really true.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Don't worry, everybody. If you did not get her contact information, everything will be in the description below. And don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and follow us on Instagram. Deidre, my friend, before I let you go, we got to play a game.
Dang.
Yes, this
So
game is
mathematical.
super simple, though. The game is called What's Your Favorite? I'm going to ask you a couple of things, and you just tell me what your favorite is. Are you ready to play, my friend?
Okay.
All
Ready.
right, let's go. What is your favorite Olympic sport?
My goodness. Mm, javelin.
Okay, so you're track and field. Track and field. So the javelin. Okay, I like that one. That's good. What is one of your favorite childhood memories?
Oh, wow. um, Learning to draw for the first time, freehand.
Oh, wow. Are you an
Yeah.
artist now?
Not necessarily. No, it
But
was
that
just a
memory was
healthy outlet.
okay. Yeah. See, that's good though. But can you do more than a stick figure? That's really the question.
Why, yes, I can.
Oh, well, there you go. That's a good memory. What is your favorite app on your phone?
My favorite app on my phone is the calendar.
Okay. Yeah, it
Yeah.
sounds like you're a busy woman. And it has numbers on it. That's just what I'm thinking. That's okay.
You see
What?
through me.
Yeah, I know. You're so easy to read. Yeah. What's your favorite TV show?
Oh my goodness, my favorite TV show. I haven't been watching any TV shows. Believe it or not, I've been watching Nigerian films.
Hey, believe it or not, I watch Asian TV, so whatever. I totally get it. All right. And finally, my friend, what
Okay.
would you tell your 13-year-old self right now?
You're going to be so good at math, it would make your head spin. Go ahead and laugh now.
Oh, I love it. Laugh now.